which takes the input of the first name, last name of the user, and email, and some of the more details of about the user. Now, in this form, I want to validate the fields of the user. Like in the mobile number field, I want that user only inputs a number and not a string. So if a user inserts a string in the input of a number, then it should show an alert message to the user that you can't enter string in mobile number box. So this behavior can be inculcated in our form with the help of the JavaScript. So we can say that JavaScript is used to add behavior to our static HTML page. Like we have multiple buttons on our HTML, and we want that on clicking this any particular button, uh, that uh, function should run, or that event should take place. Then this functionality can be achieved with the help of the JavaScript. So JavaScript adds a life to our static HTML page. So from this point of view, JavaScript is very important uh, when it comes to website and live website. So I hope you get the basic idea what the JavaScript is. So let's start about from the basic concepts of JavaScript and writing and coding some of the few things. I am using this JavaScript playground. I am just putting in the chat. If you want to code along with me, you can access this, and you can delete some of the boilerplate over there. We can start from the clear basics, as you can see over here. So first of all, we will start by declaring variables in JavaScript. As you might be aware that in C language we need to declare variables like int, some variable name, and strings, or float some variable name. Likewise in JavaScript, we have to declare variables, and we can declare variables in JavaScript using three keywords, and they are var, const, and let. Uh, is my font clearly visible, or should I increase it little bit?
Nazir, just increase it little bit.
Okay, ma'am. Is it visible now?
Yes, it is.
Okay, ma'am. So there are basically three keywords by which we can declare variables in JavaScript: var, const, and let. The functionality of all these keywords are same, but they are different, slightly different from each other in a particular way, and we will be discussing how they are different from each other. So let's first of all discuss var. And now I'll be declaring one variable, let's say car, and giving it a value, car name, let it be a Tata. So we can see that I have declared a variable namely car and given it the value Tata. One more thing I want to let you know that variables in JavaScript are not type specific. Like I am assigning string to this variable, or if other thing that if I want, I can also assign number to this, or we can assign an array also to this variable. So it is not type sensitive, we can say. It just accepts all the data types. We just need to uh, declare it by this using this keyword. So let's say I have given this value Tata, and yes, we are good to go. We can access it over anything. We can access it anywhere we want. So let's say I want to console it. You you might have heard console. We can basically log this value in our console. You can see our console browser in here. This is my console. So if you have any website and you are logging anything into a console, it will be appear here. In this playground they have provided us the console here, but in live website it will be here. So anything that we are logging in console, it will appear here. So let's log this value. So we can see it is now available in my console. Likewise, uh, let's say I have declared, I have used another keyword, let's say let, and I'll give that variable name car2, and give I'll give that value Honda. Likewise, does this functionality of both the keywords are same, but they are different. I'll come to that in 1 second, or maybe 30 seconds. And third is const, that is car3, and I'll give it a value, let's say Audi. Let's console it, all the values. Let's say car3. So we can see that all the values have been logged and we are not getting any errors. So we have declared it in correct way. Now, how they are different from each other? So they are different from each other uh, in scope, meaning that this is any variable which we declare using var is a globally scoped variable, and any variable which we declare using let and const is a block scoped variable. So let's say I have this block, and I am declaring a variable, let's say car, and again giving the same value Tata. So this is giving me that I haven't used this value car, and I'm giving warning. So let's console it, and car. So you can see that we are able to access this variable out of the block. So this is a globally scoped variable, and if we come to let, then it is giving me error that car is not defined, because we are trying to access this variable out of the block. So I just said that this is a block scope variable, we can't access this car variable outside of this scope. So if we have to access it, then we have to access it over here in the block scope. So yeah, it is happy with us. So I'm not getting now error, and we are able to access it. And similar with the const variable, it is also a block scope variable. Likewise, let, we can't access it over here, it will throw us undefined error, so we can't use it here. If we want to access const variable, then we have to use it in that block only. Instead, if we have var variable, and we can declare a variable but not initializing it. Like I have declared the variable over here, and if and I can assign the value in the next line also, like say Audi. So it we can do like that. Okay. In JavaScript, we can also avoid semicolon at the end, but usually it is a good practice to add semicolon in the end. It denotes that our statement ends over here. So I would suggest that we uh, use semicolon after at the end of the line. So uh, yes, we can declare a var variable in one line and assign the value to it in another line. Also, we can access this var variable in the brackets also, as it is a global scoped variable. So you can see we are able to access it. And another way, before assigning a value to this var keyword, what do you think that the value of a variable would that car2 variable would be? So let's find out by logging it in the console. uh, yeah, so let's add a label over here before declaring, sorry, assigning. Yeah. So before assigning car2 a value of Audi, the value of our car2 variable is undefined, and after assigning it, we are getting the value, that is Audi. So whenever we are assigning declaring a variable without a value and using a var variable, the it contains a value that is undefined, and we can't do like this, like assigning in one line and declaring in another line with const variable, or likewise let while declaring a const variable we have to assign a value to it. Like I can't do like this. For a second, let comment this line. I can't do like this. It is already throwing me an error that we can't do like this. If we want to declare a const variable, then we have to assign it a value. This is the value. This is the empty string value. Like we have to assign it a value. We can't do like okay. We can't do like that. Like assigning in one line and declaring in another line. It will throw an error because Uh, const is a self-explaining keyword like constant. The value of this variable should remain constant. We can't modify the value later on. Like let's say uh, here we are giving it tata. Let's say I want to modify the value of the car to variable Honda. So we can do like that. Okay, so a variable which is declared using var can be reassigned another value, but another variable which is declared using car keyword can't be assigned another value. A compiler only will throw an error. So you can see assignment to constant variable. The car is a constant variable and we can't reassign a value to it. So basically, whenever we want to declare a variable whose value is to remain constant for the later or for our whole program, then we must declare it using a const variable. Otherwise we can use var or let keyword, and similar is the case with the let keyword. Let's say car3, we can declare it over here and assign it the value later on. Similar is the case with var variable. Yeah, like so we can assign it. And Honda, yes, and we can easily see it the value by logging it in the console. Yeah, so we are getting it. Okay, so yeah, and we also can reassign my value to this variable which is declared using let. So let's say I want to give another value. Let's say Mercedes. So we can do it like that. Now, if we console log our car 3, yeah, so our value has changed. Okay, so with var and let, with var and let, we can reassign a value to its variable, but with const, we can't reassign its value. Okay, so that's some of the difference. Uh, var is a globally scoped variable, and we can access it in our whole document, and a variable declared using const is not a globally scoped, is a block scoped variable, meaning that we can't access this variable outside our block. And similar is the case with keyword. We can't use this variable outside our block. And uh, another thing that comes with add-on comes with let, that we can reassign a value to it. So that were the some of the differences with the let, const, and var keyword. Now we have learned declaring and variables and assigning the value to it. So now let's use this and modify something in our static HTML page. like we just discussed earlier, that using JavaScript we can modify the value in the HTML page. So let's iterate and modify some of the values. So I have this div and I have some text in it, and now I am assigning an ID to it. Let's say, mm, let's say JavaScript. I have given the ID JavaScript to this div, and I am going to modify this inner text using the JavaScript. So one thing I want to discuss with you guys, that this whole thing, that whatever thing we are getting displayed in our HTML site, this whole thing refer to as a document. Like there are hierarchy in a our website, like there is a whole dom, and by hierarchy there is uh, one thing that comes under, that is document. Then this whole thing, that whatever comes under this page, this whole thing is referred to as the document. So, and the document is a globally scoped variable. We can access it anywhere in our JavaScript. So let's use this document variable and modify some of the content. So this will help you with the autocomplete, so you won't get any errors. And if you encounter any error, then you can see it over here in the console. So uh, with the document comes with a few add-on methods, like get element by id, get element by class id, which will be discussed in detail by Moise, but I will give a give brief idea about that. uh, I will be using here get element by id. Now what this method will do, that whichever ID I'll be passing over here, it will search this whole document and will uh, grab that div whose ID matches my input here. So I have given my this ID JavaScript, and I will paste this JavaScript ID. So it will give me this whole div in my this whole div, actually this will return me a whole div. And by that I will call another method. Let's inner text is equals to, let's say, modified text. So you can see it is getting changed. So document is the whole my website, and get element by id will return me that div, and dot inner text will refer to this text which is inside our div, and it will be this new text which I am assigning it, modified text. So uh, by with JavaScript we can add this kind of behavior on the runtime, like I want to change this text on a button click, then we can add that also, and on any other event then we can do that also. Now let's come to the data type section. Now you people might have come across this uh, arrays and float in C language. Okay, in JavaScript, data types are similar, but there is some difference in the data types. Let's say in C language we have int, but with the same reference in JavaScript we have number. Using this data type number, we can assign any under this number variable all kind of number, like int, float, all comes under this data type. So if our variable has let's say variable uh, let's say x has the value 32, then the data type of this variable is number. You can see if I hover over this, it is giving me type number. So this is the data type of my variable. Now if I give it a value in point, then you can see that in C language we are referring to this as a float variable, but in JavaScript this is also this is referred to as a data type only. So all type of integral, non-integral, fractional values all comes under this number data type. And uh, likewise we have a string data type. Now it is pretty self-explanatory that uh, let's say let's take the same variable. Now this is a string, okay. uh, like alphabets and alphanumeric, all these are, you can see the data type over here is string. So we have such a few more data types, like let's say function. In JavaScript we have function is also a data type. Like if I want to declare a function, let's say uh, add, and it will perform the addition of two integers, then you can see that data type of this is a function. And here function is also referred to as a data type, okay. And after function here comes the object. And object is kind of new thing, or maybe I don't know, you people might know it. Object is a key value pair thing. So let's say I have this uh, car, and its value I am giving its value Tata, or I have to assign it to a variable, let's say object. Yeah, now it is happy. So I am declaring one object, and I am assigning values to it. So basically object is a data type which contains a key value pair. Like object the here the key is car, and its value is Tata. So I can refer over here as object. Object is the name of my variable. So you can see it is logging my whole object. Now if I want, I can let's say car. Yeah, so I am specifying the key which I want, and it is giving back me its value. So this it kind of data type is object, because it is a we have a key, we have like a key and a value. Anything that has a key and value pair, that is referred to as an object. Now we have almost covered all the data types, and after that let's discuss all the methods that are coming with the string data type. Let's declare one variable, mm, let's say alphabets, A, B, C, and D. Now I have declared one variable alphabets, and I have assigned value A, B, C, D. Now as you can see that the data type of this variable is string, but there are apart from that, there are lot more methods which we can perform on this variable. uh, for example, let's say if I want to get these two alphabets from this whole thing, then we can use the method like dot slice method, which comes with the string variable. Okay, let's try it down. Dot slice. uh, this function this function actually wants two argument, which is the starting number and the end number, which you can see over here. If you hover over it, then it will display it will show you that we have to provide two arguments. So let's say I have to I'm specifying start number and the end number. So let's console log it. Yeah. So by applying dot slice method on our alphabets, we are getting these two substring, basically we can say, of this whole string. And we can perform many such operations. Let's say uh, I want to uh, get a few words out of this statement, like I am declaring another variable, let's say x, and uh, today is Monday. Now if I want this today word from this whole sentence, then we can also uh, use this slice method to get that word. uh, let's say x dot slice, and here we are specifying starting index and 0 1 2 3 4 and index. Oh yes, one thing that here we need to specify the index after the ending, means if I have here if here I have entered index 5, then it will slice it up to fourth string. Okay, so if I have entered 4 here, then it will slice it till today. For if we I also want y, then I have to slice it till fifth letter. So it will return me this today word. And apart from that, there is a similar kind of method, that is splice method. mm, let's use this variable again, and the new method is splice method. Let's say mm, no, no, actually I'm misunderstood it. It is substring method. Sorry. Yeah, here we go. Now substring method is the same as the slice method, but one difference there is a between slice and substring method is that slice method accepts negative value also. Like here if I enter -1, then it will start counting from the backward. Like 0 zeroth index we have t, then -1 index we have y. So it will basically it will splice from the end and up to fifth line, up to fifth actually. So this also accepts a negative value, but with sub str method, it can't accept negative value, so we have to specify uh, positive values only. As we can see, mm, we are getting our output, and if we enter here -1 as we have done, it is, but in some of the in some of the uh, versions of the ES6, it will throw an error. For some reason it is not throwing an error, but we shouldn't actually use this. It is that actually it don't usually accepts negative value. So yes, and one more method is yes, concat method. So let's say I have two strings, a let's say mm, r, and another string is mm, odd. And if I want to concate these two strings, then we can do by simply calling the concat method. mm, a dot concat. Yeah. So by doing this, we can concate and get and obtain results as we want. So Yeah, that's all the methods on the strings, and there are pretty much more in the JavaScript, which will be explained by my fellow friend Moise. So I would like to hand the session over to my friend Moise.
Yeah, thank you for that. So let me share my screen first. Okay. So let me just give a brief or what I am going to explain.